In case you missed our last episode of Life with the Polites, MRL, Marriage, Relationships, and Love, here's what you missed. You know, you said it and I wrote it down another way. A mother rejoices. You know, the Bible tells us that, we are to go and get the lost. And when one returns, we rejoice that the family is now whole. I wrote down, a mother is excited when she recognizes that what she's lost has found their way back home. Mm-hmm. And I just, not taking anything away from the dads, but I rejoice in writing that down because, for one, we have a lot of single mothers who've had to do it the hard way. And to live in a society where there's so much going on and the work is so much and so hard to raise a family by yourself, for you to put in and do the things that God has poured into you and mold and shaped and speak the word, for one of your children to go to the left, and for you to continue to petition God to watch over that child, to put a fence around that child, to have that child be reminded of the promises that God has made to you. And for that mother to rejoice in knowing and seeing that that child has returned. That's a piece of joy that I don't think no one can understand. No one can feel that type of fulfillment of knowing, one, that God still remains true to his word. And God hears our prayers. God understands our petitions and the desires and the need for those that have made that left turn to recognize and come to their senses and find themselves back home, not under anyone's need of bashing, but coming back home to recognize the love and sincerity that has always been there, in spite of our wrong decisions. I think when we can embrace the love when our children have went the wrong way and still be able to comfort them and thank God for bringing them back, I think that's an emotion and there's a level of happiness and joy that we serve a God that is all about relationship, that's all about love, and that God is always near. God promises that he will never leave us nor forsake us. That's in relationship to our family as a whole. So I think that's, I wrote that down when you were speaking because I had, the Spirit just gave me that to say that because we have so many mothers out there right now that their hope is in that God will be reminded and God keep the promises to watch over their children. And he will. He will. God will restore and bring them back home. God will renew their minds and their souls and their hearts. And just like the prodigal son who came to his senses, his father received him. And that's what I believe for those, especially those mothers that's out there doing both ends, mom and dad, to receive back and for God to remind you that he has heard your prayer, that he has heard your petition, and I brought back the one whom I have given you. I think that's a piece of love and understanding that just can't be spoken.